Costco is entering its most sensitive time window of the year, a period where clearance and discontinued items don't follow their usual slow markdown path, but can disappear in just a few days. A price ending in 0.97 isn't just a simple discount. It is a signal of end-of-cycle liquidation, showing that Costco is ready to clear the shelves to make room for new inventory. During this phase, hesitating means missing out, because the item you are considering today might be gone by your next visit. You'd be awesome if you liked this video.
Wow!
1. Kids Suitcase and Backpack Sets. Kicking off the list are kids' suitcase and backpack combos themed around Spider-Man, Stitch, and Bluey, now at $39.97 on clearance. These are rare deep cuts because they hit a real family need: school, short trips, or overnight stays. Smooth rolling wheels, a matching backpack, and a solid build for the price. Most importantly, this clearance price means it's the final sell-off. Wait too long, and it's gone for good. No restock. 2. Swiss Gear Weekender Bag. The Swiss Gear Weekender bag rarely needs much explanation when it comes to durability. At $39.97, this isn't a fun buy. It's a long-term piece. Compact enough for weekend trips, sturdy enough to stuff full without sagging. Plenty of colors, good finish, true clearance. If you're looking for one bag to last years, this is the perfect time. 3. 360-degree Spinner Suitcase. A 360-degree spinner suitcase combo at around $39.97 is a rare price for smooth rotation, light pulling, and stable rolling through airports. The design tackles common issues like stuck wheels or heavy handling in crowds. With clearance pricing, Costco is making space for the next batch. Once it's gone, it's gone. If you value function over flash, this is worth grabbing. 4. Tineco iFloor 3 Ultra. The Tineco iFloor 3 Ultra is built to cut cleaning time way down, and $199.97 shows Costco is seriously clearing it out. It vacuums and mops at the same time, with separate tanks to keep floors truly clean. For homes with kids, pets, or hard floors used daily, this isn't a nice upgrade. It's a real long-term time saver at rock-bottom pricing. 5. iRobot Roomba Combo. The Roomba Combo at $419.99 screams discontinued deal, not a regular promo. It vacuums and mops in one unit with auto-docking and mapping, perfect for everyday use. The key is the discontinuation signal. Low stock means buy now. Plenty left means watch for deeper clearance. Timing is everything here, not just the price. 6. 65 inches Samsung TV. $349.97 for a 65-inch Samsung TV signals the post-sports season clearance wave has started. It's not a premium model, but the big screen, solid picture, and reliable brand make it plenty good at this price. This feels like the final sell-off before newer models arrive. Great if you prioritize viewing experience over flashy features. 7. Marshall Kilburn 2 Bluetooth speaker. The Marshall Kilburn 2 at $199.99 means more than just a Bluetooth speaker. It's discontinued. That signature balanced Marshall sound, sturdy build, long battery life, and enough water resistance for daily use. When a model gets pulled from the lineup, you either grab it while it's still around or accept you'll never see this price again. 8. Ion PA speaker plus mic plus stand. The Ion Audio PA speaker bundle with mic and stand at $119.97 isn't aimed at audiophiles. It's for real-life needs, family karaoke, group gatherings, and small events. Decent battery, simple connections, and ready to use out of the box. Reviews aren't stellar, but at this clearance level, it's the kind of deal that gets more tempting the lower it goes. Perfect if you want good enough, without chasing premium audio. 9. Hover Air X1 Pro Max Drone. The Hover Air X1 Pro Max at $399.99 should be seen for what it is: a self-flying drone marked discontinued, not a toy. Fast speeds, preset modes, 64 gigabyte storage, compact and light. When tech items hit discontinuation, prices don't ease down. They disappear fast. If you've been thinking about a small personal drone for filming, this is decision time. 10. Canon Rebel DSLR. At $639.99, the Canon Rebel DSLR isn't quite buy now territory yet. It's a classic entry-level camera, but right now it's in wait mode, not deep clearance, and not the most compelling compared to other options. When older DSLRs truly hit clearance, prices can drop hard in weeks. Smart play. Monitor stock, don't rush. Buying early here means paying for patience at the wrong moment. 11. Wilson NBA Signature Basketball. The Wilson NBA Signature hitting $9.97 is a rare steal. This is an official game standard ball, not a display piece. Great grip, consistent bounce, perfect for practice or casual play. Key point: resellers are snapping these up fast. What's on the shelf today might be gone tomorrow. At this price, buy it. Waiting means losing it. 12. Nautilus Yoga Mat. The $9.97 price tag on the Nautilus Yoga Mat is a clearance sign that needs no further explanation. It is thick enough for comfortable floor exercises and has a surface with good grip, making it suitable for both yoga and daily stretching. It's worth noting that this is part of a cyclical markdown group and could potentially drop further if inventory is high. But at this level, the risk is almost zero. Buy it because you need it, not just because it's cheap. 13. Chirp Wheel. The Chirp Wheel, dropping to $49.97, is a signal of a deliberate warehouse clearing. This isn't a piece of equipment for everyone. It's for people truly interested in stretching and releasing spinal pressure after sitting for long periods. The price isn't the lowest in history, but it is reasonable if you have a genuine need. The rule here is clear: buy it for your body's needs. Don't buy it just because it looks like a bargain. 14. Dumbbell Set. The dumbbell set at $249.97 is currently in a zone where the price isn't deep enough to pull the trigger. The quality is solid and the design is nice, but price history shows this item has dropped significantly lower during the final clearance rhythm. When inventory is still high, Costco usually isn't in a hurry to slash the price further. The right strategy now is to observe the stock levels and not buy out of fear of it selling out, as the best price usually comes to those who wait for the right moment. 15. Chef IQ Smart Thermometer. The Chef IQ Smart Thermometer is entering a markdown cycle, but $59.97 isn't the bottom yet. With 2 probes, smart connectivity, and accurate temperature tracking, it is perfect for grilling, roasting, and sous vide at home. However, the clearance history for this category of devices usually includes one more price drop. If you need it for immediate use, the price is fine. But if you are hunting for the best deal, waiting will give you an advantage. Shirlio Cuisinart Grind Hebrew. The Cuisinart Grind and Brew single cup model at $119.97 is a rare price for a built-in grinder coffee maker. Separate bean hopper and customizable grind and brew strength. Perfect control for your daily cup. Not the most convenient machine, but ideal for consistent coffee habits. This feels like true bottom-of-cycle clearance. If you love all-in-one simplicity, this is a fantastic grab. Don't miss it. 17. Ninja Dual Brew. The Ninja Dual Brew, down $30 and marked discontinued, is the classic prelude to deeper clearance. It handles both ground coffee and pods, fitting different family habits. At this stage, it depends on stock. Low means buy to lock in the price. Plenty left means wait for the next drop. Timing game, not just dollars off. Shiba Ninja Blast Blender. When the Ninja Blast Blender hits $39.99 and gets the discontinued tag, it's almost confirmed. Final clear out before it vanishes. Compact, rechargeable, and perfect for personal smoothies and on-the-go needs. Not a full-size replacement, but spot on for what it does. As Ninja makes room for new models, this won't stick around. If you want a convenient personal blender, snag it before it's gone. 19. Chefman Warming Tray. The Chefman Warming Tray isn't selling on hype. $29.97 just puts it in the buy if you need it category. Great for family parties, small buffets, or long meals. Price is down, but not at a historic low, so weigh it. If you need it now, you'll have no regret buying. If it's not urgent, waiting could save more. Buy for timing, not just cheapness. 20. Homedics Steam Sauna. When the Homedics Steam Sauna appears at $219.97 with a discontinued label, it is a clear signal for a serious clearance move from Costco. It features simple installation, includes a seat, and serves home relaxation needs with clear benefits for sleep and recovery. This isn't a trend-based purchase. If you already have a sauna habit, this price is a reasonable entry point before the item is pulled from the shelves. 21. Shark Turbo Blade. $199.97 says a lot. The Shark Turbo Blade is entering seasonal clearance, but Costco is still in control, not rushing. Fan and heater combo, strong airflow, wide oscillation, year-round use. It's an investment in versatile home comfort. Current price is good, but if stock is high, it could drop more. Decide based on long-term need, not just weather. Like the video if this surprised you. 22. Drio Ultrasonic Humidifier. This isn't a buy-for-fun deal. At $29.97 for a 2-pack, the Drio humidifier is clearly positioned as a necessity for the cold, dry season, prioritizing stable humidity for daily living. 2 units in one box allow for flexible room placement, quiet operation, and enough capacity for nightly use. The warehouse is open, and the price has hit the floor. This is a perfect choice for homes that need absolute silence and balanced humidity. 23. Drio Ceramic Heater. The Drio Ceramic Heater at $49.97 shows a clearance phase but not the absolute bottom. Fast ceramic heat, 3D oscillation, and multiple settings, good for small to medium rooms. With thick stock, Costco often holds steady a bit longer. Buy only if you need heat now, otherwise, patience might get you a better price in a few days. 24. OmniHeat Personal Heaters. At $19.97 for 2 units, the OmniHeat Personal Heaters are a clearance case worth watching for personal heating solutions. These 2 compact units have multiple heat levels, a timer, and a touchscreen, perfect for a desk, bedroom, or study corner. This is truly a warehouse clearing at a price that is hard to find. The high efficiency makes every dollar spent worth it. Whether you buy for immediate use or stock up for a cold day, it's a great deal. 25. Tramontina Dutch Oven. $54.97 makes the Tramontina Dutch Oven look like a nice clear-out deal, but decide based on real need. Excellent heat retention, great for braising and baking, attractive design. Downside: the enamel can chip over time with heavy use. Solid if you cook gently. If you bash it around, the low price might not equal long-term value. 26. Anchor Hawking Glass Jar Set. The Anchor Hawking 3-piece glass jar set at $16.97 is clean clearance. Low price, clear function, and low risk. Thick glass, tight lids, perfect for dry food storage or a tidy kitchen. Not exciting, but super durable and long-lasting. At this price, just close your eyes and buy. Huge value for upgrading your kitchen without breaking the bank. 27. Tupperware Set. The issue with the Tupperware set at $49.97 isn't price. It's slow-moving stock. Still good quality plastic and a familiar design, but hesitation from buyers often signals a deeper drop coming. Smart strategy. Watch stock. If it's still plentiful, wait. If it starts thinning fast, then jump in. This tests patience. 28. Wyatt and Ash Machine Washable Rugs. At $29.97, the Wyatt and Ash Machine Washable Rugs fit everyday family life. They are easy to clean and flexible for entryways, kitchens, or living areas. Biggest plus? They go in the washer without losing shape, great for homes with kids or pets. Classic indestructible clear-out. Durable, practical, and cheap. Golden time to get real value. 29. GOI lamps. Quality isn't the issue with GOI lamps. Big stock is why they're at $199.97. When shelves are full, Costco rarely stops at one drop. Best to wait for optimization, especially if you don't need them installed right away. Clear plan. Track stock, wait for the big plunge. True value shows up at the final bottom, not mid-cycle. 30. Globe Power Reserve Lamp. The Globe Power Reserve, at $13.99 as a discontinued deal, is a very practical choice for snowstorm and power outage seasons. The lamp has a backup battery and activates automatically when power is interrupted, providing enough light for basic living. No frills, no unnecessary tech. It just does exactly one job when you need it most. At this price, this is an item you should buy early for prevention before it disappears from the shelves. 31. Coda Power Failure Lamp. The Coda Power Failure Lamp is worth close watching, but not buying yet. Designed for outages, it auto-activates on power loss and is suited for harsh weather areas. Not in full clearance yet, the smart move is to monitor price and stock. Experience shows when Coda starts dropping hard, it falls fast and deep. That's when the best decision hits. 32. Rechargeable foot/hand warmer. Simple and straightforward. At $49.97, the rechargeable foot/hand warmer hits cold season needs. Targeted warmth without whole room heating. Rechargeable battery, multiple levels, versatile for hands or feet, useful at desks or outdoors. Once it hits this mark, waiting is pointless. If you want compact, effective warmth, this is a smart buy right now. 33. Chocolate Almond Biscotti. With food, speed matters. $7.97 for 25 packs of chocolate almond biscotti is obvious clearance. Individually wrapped, easy to grab, rich chocolate with almonds for satisfying portion control. Not diet food, but great as a controlled snack. At this price, stock up for gradual use or short-term storage. 34. Hand-stuffed Greek olives. Hand-stuffed Greek olives at $9.97 is one of those rare food clearances where value far exceeds the tag. Imported, hand-processed, bold, and balanced flavor. Perfect for snacking, salads, or tapas. Final clearance. No restock. Rare chance to get premium ingredients for family meals at an unbelievable price. Grab it before regret. 35. Crown Maple Syrup. Crown Bourbon. Barrel-aged maple syrup at $15.49 is in the heads-up zone before full clearance. Worth tracking. Deep-layered flavor, great for baking, sauces, or savory dishes. Gourmet lines like this sell out fast on discount and are almost never restocked. If cooking is your thing, watch the next drop. This could be the last time it's around. 36. Mobile Warming Heated Gloves. Mobile warming battery heated gloves at $59.97 fit real-world use more than novelty. Built-in batteries and multiple heat levels for steady warmth during outdoor work or long drives. Value is in active heat control. When it hits 0.97, the safe bet is to buy to use now. Only wait if stock is still heavy. 37. Women's Sorel Joan of Arctic Boots. Sorel Joan of Arctic Boots dropping to $79.97 is a timely cold weather clearance. It hasn't hit absolute bottom, but it's rare enough to pay attention to. The design is sleek, waterproof, and warm, balancing aesthetics and durability. When Sorel hits a good price and your size is available, grab them quickly. If you need a durable pair of winter boots for the long term, this is a reasonable time to try the fit and decide early. 38. Sorel Joan of Arctic Boots. The online version of Sorel Joan of Arctic at $99.97 is realistic when warehouse sizes run out. About $20 more, but you get the right size and color without digging through shelves. For winter boots, a perfect fit beats a small price difference. If you need them soon for cold weather and have no sizing doubts, online at this price is still a safe call. 39. Save the Duck Puffer Jacket. Save the duck. Puffer jackets are hitting $29.97, which is a rare clearance for a line that doesn't use down feathers but is still lightweight and effective at retaining heat. The design is clean, easy for daily wear, and flexible enough for travel. The value lies in the sustainable materials and the comfortable feeling in moderately cold weather. 40. Shark Wand Vax. Pet Cordless Handheld. The Shark Wand Vax, also Pet Cordless Handheld at $79.97, is a compact fix for pet homes. Lightweight, focused suction, and quick cleanup of fur and crumbs on couches, stairs, or cars. Doesn't replace big vacuums but nails daily spots. When Shark handhelds hit good pricing, locking one in for long use beats waiting for the next round. 41. Tineco Floor Washer 5 Plus Handheld Vacuum Bundle. The Tineco Floor Washer 5 bundle with a handheld vacuum is dropping to $349.97, which is a very practical setup for daily cleaning. The floor washer handles deep floor cleaning, while the handheld handles crumbs and pet hair quickly. These two devices share the workload, saving time and reducing reliance on bulky machines. At this final price, this is a very profitable investment per dollar, especially for homes with small children or pets. 42. Portuguese Flannel Sheet Set. The Portuguese Flannel Sheet Set is on online clearance. Prices vary by size, but quality holds steady. Thick flannel, excellent heat retention, soft and color fast, minimal pilling after washes. Warm feel right away, perfect for cold nights. Online often has odd sizes left, and it's hard to restock. Spot your size and color, and grab it quick to upgrade sleep affordably. Costco doesn't lower prices to please buyers. They lower them to clear the warehouse and rotate inventory. Those who can read the .97 signal, the asterisk, and the inventory rhythm will buy at the right time. Those who buy on emotion will always pay more. The 42 deals you just saw aren't meant for you to buy everything but to choose exactly what you need at exactly the right time. A cheap price doesn't necessarily mean you win. Buying at the right value is the real victory. If you had $10,000, which item on this list is a must-buy for you?
Get your appetite ready, because Costco is exactly the dessert mecca you've been looking for. This place breaks all the rules regarding price and quality. You get massive portions and sophisticated flavors that rival any high-end bakery, all at a surprisingly low cost. However, the brightest stars in the bakery section are often the most low-key and have a very short shelf life. If you've ever underestimated Costco's sweets, these 13 items will make you wish you had known about them sooner. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. Boom, tuxedo cake. The tuxedo cake isn't the kind of dessert that tries to grab your attention with flashy decorations or over-the-top styling. Its appeal comes from the way the flavor layers are intentionally built, slow enough for you to savor and deep enough to leave an impression. From the very first slice, the structure proves this is not just an ordinary chocolate cake. Rich chocolate cake layers are alternated with dark chocolate mousse, white chocolate mousse, and small brownie chunks, creating a dense, solid, and visually satisfying dessert. When tasting it, the highlight isn't the sweetness, but rather the balance. The chocolate is handled to be rich, creamy, and smooth, completely avoiding a sugary or cloying aftertaste. The mousse is soft yet holds its shape, the cake is moist without being dry, and the brownie bits provide a firm texture. Each layer plays its own role without overpowering the others, keeping the cake balanced from start to finish. The tuxedo cake is the kind of dessert that naturally makes you slow down. Its large size, high chocolate content, and heavy-duty feel force you to eat in moderation. but the experience lingers for a long time. This is why many consider it a worthy replacement for the classic chocolate cakes that have disappeared from the shelves. If you need a dessert that represents the spirit of Costco, rich, substantial, and memorable, the tuxedo cake is almost always mentioned first. 2. Food Court Churro. The churro at the Costco food court is a prime example of the simple but done right philosophy. This isn't a dessert that relies on flashy ideas or strange twists. The value of the churro lies in Costco's absolute focus on the fundamentals: few ingredients and a familiar process, but executed with tight control. Fried dough, sugar, and cinnamon might sound ordinary, but the standard and consistency of every batch create a hard-to-replace signature. The first impression hits you as soon as you hold it. The churro is large, thick, and sturdy, offering clear value for money. When fresh out of the oven, the outer layer is light gold and slightly crispy, while the inside remains soft and chewy without being dry. The scent of cinnamon is well distributed, clear enough to notice but not overpowering, and the sweetness is restrained, so you don't feel overwhelmed. Each bite brings a warm, comforting feeling, making it the perfect end to a long shopping trip. It is worth noting that the price of the churro is practically unrivaled in its segment, yet the experience doesn't feel cheap or like an afterthought. It is delicious because it is stable, easy to eat, and low risk. It is best enjoyed while hot, when the crust and the center are perfectly balanced. For many regulars, the churro isn't just a dessert, it's a tradition tied to every Costco visit. 3. Traditional Costco cheesecake. If you need a clear example of the power of simple perfection, the traditional Costco cheesecake is always the first name that comes up. It doesn't follow flashy trends or temporary fads. It focuses entirely on core value. The flavor is rich and creamy, but well controlled, feeling substantial without being too heavy. The texture is its greatest strength. The cream cheese layer is dense enough to provide a full flavor, but soft enough to melt slowly on the tongue. The crust is slightly crispy and nutty, serving as the perfect foundation to highlight the natural dairy flavor, with a sweetness that is cleverly tempered to avoid being cloying. The true value of this cheesecake lies in its practicality and efficiency. With its massive size, it is the ideal choice for family gatherings, small parties, or simply a dessert that can be portioned out multiple times without losing quality. Whether eaten immediately or kept chilled for later, the experience remains reliably consistent. Over time, this cheesecake has become more than just a bestseller. It has become the gold standard for the Costco bakery. Its balance of economic value, mass appeal, and consistent quality makes it the benchmark that any other cake in its category is compared against. 4. Pumpkin cheesecake. This is not merely a seasonal item. It is a sophisticated distillation of the holiday spirit placed on a classic cheesecake foundation. Two familiar worlds meet in a way that has great depth. The signature creaminess of the cheesecake serves as the pillar, while the pumpkin and winter spices bring a warm, emotional layer of flavor. From the first bite, a sense of familiarity appears, then slowly gives way to notes of cinnamon, nutmeg, and a deep sweet finish that creates a rhythmic, unhurried experience. What makes this cake valuable is the precise tuning of its flavors. The pumpkin doesn't make the dessert overly sweet or heavy. Instead, it adds depth, making the cheese flavor feel smoother and more grounded. The spices are used just enough. Not too strong or sharp, just enough to evoke the year-end atmosphere without breaking the core structure of the cheesecake. It's the kind of dessert that makes you naturally slow down, taking small bites to appreciate the delicate transition between creamy, warm, and sweet. As a seasonal product, its short availability makes it even more valuable. Buying one feels like capturing a specific moment in time, rare enough to be truly appreciated. If you are looking for a dessert that feels festive and warm, yet remains mature and sophisticated, missing this cake would be a significant oversight for your holiday table. 5. Cherry Danish. In the Costco bakery section, Where Danishes are always displayed in abundance, the cherry Danish maintains its own unique spot. Its difference doesn't come from flashy looks, but from the intentional way the ingredients are combined. The pastry is layered and baked just enough to have a light crunch on the outside, while the inside remains soft and airy. This pastry base allows the filling to play its role perfectly. The deciding factor is the cherry filling. Real cherries are used quite generously, offering a natural tartness that balances the sweetness and the richness of the butter. The cherries aren't overcooked, so they stay juicy rather than mushy, providing a clear and clean fruit flavor. Compared to apple, cheese, or almond variations, the cherry Danish feels lighter and doesn't leave a heavy sugary aftertaste. Even at room temperature, the pastry is delicious. But if lightly warmed, the scent of butter mingles with the fruit aroma, and the texture becomes even smoother. A Danish can easily become too heavy if not handled with care, but the cherry Danish avoids this pitfall through proper balance. Each bite is rich enough to be satisfying, but remains pleasant even if you eat more than one. It is a perfect choice for a slow morning with coffee or a light afternoon snack, where flavors are savored slowly rather than rushed. 6. Famous pumpkin pie. No longer just a seasonal item, the Costco pumpkin pie has become a standard fixture in the memories of many families. Its value doesn't come from novelty, but from a rare level of consistency over the years. The recipe stays stable, and the flavor never changes, creating a level of trust that few seasonal items achieve. With its highly accessible price point, the quality of this pie often far exceeds the buyer's initial expectations. The foundation of the experience is the crust. It is baked perfectly, crispy enough to provide texture, but still retaining the necessary moisture and buttery taste without being dry or crumbly. The filling is a harmonious blend of pumpkin and familiar spices like cinnamon and nutmeg, creating a warm feeling that fits the spirit of family gatherings. The sweetness is well controlled and not overwhelming, making it easy to enjoy a large slice without feeling weighed down. The massive size and competitive price are only part of the reason why this pumpkin pie is so beloved. More importantly, it offers peace of mind. This is the pie you bring to the table with total confidence that it will be well received, suit many different palates, and rarely disappoint. It is this stability that makes the Costco pumpkin pie the default choice for many people every holiday season. 7. Lattice apple pie. This pie is clear proof that the classic style, when done right, always maintains its charm. From the first look, the golden, evenly woven lattice crust creates a sense of quality and reliability. The crust is sturdy but not hard. It melts in your mouth, leaving a very pleasant buttery taste. When cut, the filling reveals distinct layers. The apples hold their shape, and the sauce doesn't run or turn into mush, showing tight control during the baking process. The apples are the core value of this pie. The slices are cut to a medium thickness, retaining their natural light crunch rather than being overcooked. Sugar and cinnamon are used sparingly, enough to enhance the fruit without losing its inherent brightness. Every bite offers a clear balance, a rich crust, a fragrant apple filling, and a warm but not heavy aftertaste. The pie is great cold, but if you warm it up and serve it with a scoop of vanilla ice cream, the flavor becomes significantly more rounded and deep. Many people also appreciate that this pie is completely vegan. Without needing butter, milk, or eggs, the lattice apple pie still maintains its deliciousness and appeal. This harmony between familiar flavor and dietary flexibility makes it a safe and welcome choice for any party table. Like the video if this surprised you. 8. David's Cookies Rainbow Cake. The David's Cookies Rainbow Cake is truly a masterpiece of disguise in the bakery section. Wrapped in a coat of plain white frosting that is so minimalist it's almost invisible, it easily tricks those just glancing by. But that outer stillness is the perfect setup for the twist, when the knife cuts through, revealing 5 vibrant, sharp color layers as perfectly aligned as a real rainbow. Beyond the visual effect, the texture of the cake is a major plus. The cake layers remain moist and soft without being crumbly, alternated with thin, light layers of frosting that bind the flavors together delicately. This balance keeps the cake tasting fresh and sweet, without the greasy or sugary heaviness often found in colorful layer cakes. However, the core value that makes it the star of any party is its weight and density. A heavy cake allows the host to cut many thin slices while still ensuring guests feel satisfied and full. At Costco, this is a testament to the intersection of performance art and practicality, a dessert that is beautiful enough for social media, but high quality enough to satisfy a crowd. 9. Carrot Walnut Cake. This cake doesn't need a flashy appearance to get attention. It chooses its own path, winning over food lovers with the depth of its original flavors. Its brief appearance during the Easter season makes it a seasonal treasure that everyone wants to find. Weighing in at a massive 4 pounds, it is a generous gift for the whole family, though its charm might make you want to keep it all for yourself. The secret to its high quality is the cake base, moist and dense, but never heavy or dry. It is a wonderful harmony of the light sweetness of carrots, the crunchy richness of roasted walnuts, and, most surprisingly, chewy bits of dried apricots. This fruit accent elevates the flavor, creating a sophisticated and lightly sweet aftertaste. The cream cheese frosting is lightly rich and not too sugary, combined with randomly scattered cake crumbs for a rustic, homemade look. While the carrot bar cake is a decent alternative, the experience of the original round cake is the ultimate fulfillment. It is a mature, deep choice that deserves its place in Costco's Hall of Fame. 10. Food Court Ice Cream Sundae. The ice cream sundae at the food court is a clear reflection of Costco's core philosophy: minimize form, but maximize the value of the experience. It isn't flashy or complicated. This dessert is like a sweet reward that helps wash away the exhaustion of shopping for hours in a giant warehouse. The soul of the sundae is the foundational vanilla ice cream, smooth, creamy, and just sweet enough. When combined with rich chocolate sauce or fresh strawberry sauce, the taste experience becomes complete. The strawberry version stands out thanks to real fruit chunks that provide a natural tartness, perfectly balancing the richness of the ice cream and creating a refreshing feel. The deciding factor that keeps the sundae in its iconic status is the price-to-performance ratio, which is almost unbeatable. For a very low cost, the buyer receives a generous full cup of ice cream that can be ordered without a second thought. You don't need a sophisticated palate to enjoy it. The sundae brings a comfortable, familiar feeling. That simplicity and generosity are what have turned this cup of ice cream into a mandatory ritual for every Costco trip. 11. Tiramisu Bar Cake. If you've ever had a bad impression of tiramisu because of an overpowering alcohol taste or a soggy texture, the tiramisu bar cake at Costco is the perfect solution to change your mind. This product chooses a different path, celebrating absolute lightness and balance. The moment it touches your tongue, you will be won over by a cake base that is as soft as a cloud, melting away smoothly without feeling heavy or overly sweet. The secret lies in the art of moderation. The mascarpone cream is whipped to be light as air and blended with a gentle coffee aroma, creating a sophisticated depth of flavor without being overwhelming. The cake structure maintains an ideal fluffiness and just the right amount of moisture without being mushy, ensuring every slice is sharp and aesthetic. The modern bar design is also a big plus, providing a polite appearance and optimizing portioning for parties. This is a 10 out of 10 solution for hosting, both elegant and safe, completely eliminating the risk of failure that comes with making it at home. It is a gentle yet convincing way to fall in love with this famous Italian dessert all over again. 12. Mini All-American Chocolate Cakes. The Mini All-American Chocolate Cakes carry a lot of nostalgia for anyone who loved the massive All-American chocolate cake that once graced the bakery shelves. Costco's mini version doesn't try to replace it entirely. Instead, It preserves almost the full spirit of that legendary dessert in a more compact and practical form. Each small cake is a familiar combination of rich chocolate cake, a thick fudgy ganache, and chocolate shavings sprinkled on top. The flavor hasn't been watered down to please the masses. The chocolate is still dark, rich, and indulgent in the classic Costco style. The difference is in the portioning. The cakes are pre-portioned and sized for one person, allowing you to enjoy the full experience without overindulging. This portion control actually makes the mini version smarter. There's no more cutting a huge slice and telling yourself you'll finish it just to avoid waste. Instead, it feels complete, tidy, and easy to share. The mini all-American chocolate cakes aren't just a dessert. They are Costco's way of keeping a familiar memory alive, adapting to new consumer habits without losing their original identity. 13. David's Cookies Chocolate Overload Cake. The David's Cookies Chocolate Overload Cake is not for everyone. This is a cake created for those who see chocolate as the central flavor, not a decorative detail. The entire design revolves around a single goal, pushing the cocoa experience to the maximum while maintaining the necessary control. The first impression comes from the structure. Layers of dark chocolate cake are stacked densely, separated by smooth mousse, and wrapped in a shiny, thick, and flavor-heavy ganache. When cut, the cake does not collapse or crumble. It holds its form perfectly, showing that the ratio of cream to cake was carefully calculated. What makes it truly valuable is the sensation of eating it. The chocolate flavor is deep and clear, but doesn't rely on excessive sugar. The richness comes from the cream and ganache, creating a full flavor and a long-lasting aftertaste rather than immediate boredom. The cake stays moist, and each bite is soft and slow melting, forcing the eater to enjoy it patiently. From a practical standpoint, this is a great choice for sharing. The cake comes pre-sliced into even portions, making it easy to serve at small parties or family gatherings. The frozen version also maintains consistent quality after thawing. For Costco, the chocolate overload cake isn't an impulsive dessert. It's a statement that sometimes carefully calculated abundance is the perfect balance. Our journey through these 13 desserts shows that Costco is truly a master at balancing quality and cost. These oversized cakes, rich flavors, and friendly prices are proof of their respect for the customer. However, the harsh rule of seasonal items means that the opportunity to enjoy them often passes very quickly. Knowing in advance is an advantage. Don't go to Costco just for fun. Go with the mindset of an expert, choose the right time, and buy the right item to experience sweetness at its highest peak. Which dish in the video surprised you the most? Sometimes, the things that cost you the most money at Costco are actually the ones that feel like deals too good to pass up. They're right there in front of you. Golden rotisserie chickens, giant jars of spices, or cookware sets that look like a once-in-a-lifetime bargain. But behind those tempting prices are hidden details that quietly drain your wallet, your health, and even your shopping experience. Not every big deal is a good deal, and not everything Costco puts out is worth tossing in your cart. Once you understand why some of these familiar choices aren't as smart as they seem, you'll realize that the savings you thought you got can sometimes be a very expensive illusion. Subscribe to the channel to get notified of the latest videos.
Wow!
13 huge packs of fruits and vegetables. Those massive bags of produce at Costco make you feel like you're winning. More food, lower price per pound, and enough to last a while. But reality is a little trickier than that. Vegetables start losing nutrients the moment they leave the farm, and they lose them faster than most people realize. A 3-pound bag of greens sounds great, until day 3, when you open the fridge and see the rest is wilted, gone limp, or started turning color. Fruit isn't much better. Avocados all ripen at once and turn to mush before you can eat them. Bananas go brown overnight. Strawberries basically race toward spoilage the second you get home. When everything is packaged for a family of 8, you end up in a familiar loop. You think you're saving a few bucks per pound, but you actually throw away up to a third of the bag because you couldn't use it in time. Studies show the average American household wastes about 25% of the produce they buy, and with Costco-sized packages, that number can easily be higher. The real smart move is buying just enough so everything gets eaten while it's still fresh and at its best. Smaller bags are actually the bigger win for both your wallet and your health. 12. Giant spice containers. Those huge jars of spices at Costco look amazing, super cheap, tons of product, and it feels like one purchase will last you until next Christmas. But that exact generosity is what turns them from a bargain into something that's not cheap at all. Every spice, even sealed tight, has a point where the flavor starts fading. Garlic powder, cinnamon, paprika, or seasoning blends stay at peak flavor for only a few months. Whole spices last longer, but even they rarely keep their magic past 2 years once opened. The problem? We use such tiny amounts. A pinch here, a teaspoon there, nowhere near enough to go through half a kilo before it's time to toss it. So they sit on the shelf, season after season, until one day you open the lid and realize the smell is basically gone. The powder is still there, but the soul of the spice has left the building. Color, aroma, and freshness are what make food taste amazing. Saving a couple bucks only to end up with bland meals isn't usually worth it. In most cases, smaller jars are the smarter choice if you want full flavor in every bite. 11. Kirkland laundry detergent. Among all the products at Costco, those giant jugs of Kirkland laundry detergent feel like a no-brainer, way cheaper than name brands and enough to wash clothes for months. But after the initial, "I saved so much" feeling, a lot of people start noticing problems a few weeks later. Plenty of customers say their skin suddenly gets unhappy, mild rashes, stinging, or constant itching, and it takes them a while to connect it to the detergent. It's not hard to see why. Big-name brands offer all kinds of gentle, sensitive skin or baby-safe formulas. Kirkland doesn't have nearly that many options. With just a couple of fixed formulas, the chance of it not agreeing with your skin is higher, especially since it often contains stronger cleaning agents that sensitive skin doesn't love. One study even found that about 1/3 of laundry detergents on the market contain at least one ingredient known to cause irritation. If every time you put on freshly washed clothes, your skin feels itchy or irritated, that original savings doesn't mean much anymore. A smaller bottle with a gentler formula will keep you comfortable, reduce irritation, and let you feel good about your clothes all day long. 10. Costco deli prepared foods. Those big deli trays look like dinner is already solved. Creamy pasta salad, gooey mac and cheese, and pulled rotisserie chicken tossed in sauce. On a crazy busy night, they feel like a total lifesaver. The problem shows up when you actually look at the nutrition label. Most of these items are built to stay tasty and fresh on the shelf for days, so they lean hard on the big three: salt, sugar, and fat. It's completely normal for one serving to have as much sodium as 4 orders of fast food fries. Even the ones that sound healthy, like the quinoa salad, can hit almost 700 calories per container, basically half the calories most people need in an entire day. These foods aren't evil. They're just best saved for occasional nights, not everyday dinners. The fast, easy, and delicious feeling might save one evening, but your body still logs every single gram of salt and calorie. Knowing exactly what you're eating is the easiest way to keep things balanced and actually feel good, both physically and mentally. 9. Books at Costco. Walking past the book tables at Costco always feels like a nice little surprise. Brand new hardcovers and popular titles priced lower than at a regular bookstore. Except when you really compare, the bargain usually isn't that great. On Amazon or other online retailers, the same books are often 10 to 15% off or even cheaper during flash sales, deals Costco rarely beats. Plus, they only carry maybe 50 to 100 titles at a time, so the selection is tiny compared to even a small bookstore. Because the books are stacked on big tables for everyone to flip through, they get handled constantly. Corners get bent, spines get cracked, and covers get light scratches. From a distance, they look fine, but up close, they're rarely in perfect, brand new condition. A lot of us buy books to keep for years and enjoy slowly. So while the Costco book section is fun to browse, it's usually not the place with the lowest price or the nicest copy. A quick search online almost always gets you a better deal and a book that actually feels new. 8. Cheap non-stick cookware sets. Those towering stacks of affordable non-stick pans at Costco look impressive. Low price, lots of pieces, seems like a total score. The biggest downside? They fall apart fast. Budget non-stick coatings are usually just a couple of thin layers that scratch, flake, and can't handle high heat for long. For the first 3 months, everything is perfect. Eggs slide right out, fish doesn't stick, and cleanup is a breeze. Then slowly the surface gets rough, the coating discolors, and tiny flakes of that non-stick layer start coming off into your food, even if you don't always notice. Higher-end brands use 5 to 7 layers of coating and can easily last several years instead of a few months. When you look at how long they actually last, that cheap Costco set often ends up being the most expensive because you have to replace it so soon. A good kitchen doesn't need a ton of pans. It needs a few really solid ones you can use every day without worry. With non-stick cookware, smarter isn't buying the biggest set. It's buying one higher quality piece that actually saves you money in the long run. Comment number 1 and like this video, and I'll reveal something even more shocking. 7. Giant bottles of sunscreen. On a sunny day, spotting a 3-pack of huge sunscreen bottles at that crazy low Costco price feels like you just won summer. Most people don't realize the truth until they're halfway through one bottle. Sunscreen doesn't last forever. The active UV blocking ingredients start breaking down the moment you open the bottle, and that process speeds up in the hot, steamy bathroom where most of us keep it. The FDA says sunscreen should stay good for at least 3 years when it's still sealed. Once it's opened, especially in a big bottle that takes months or even a year to finish, the protection drops off a lot faster than you think. You're rubbing it on, believing you're fully covered, but your skin might actually be getting more UV than you realize because the formula has gone stale. Plus, giant bottles make people cheap out on how much they use, or they save half the bottle for next summer, by which time it's basically useless. With sunscreen, effectiveness is everything. It's smarter to buy a size you'll actually use up while it's still strong, so your skin gets the real protection you paid for. 6. Electronics. The electronics section at Costco is dangerous. Giant TVs, decent-looking laptops, and prices that make you stop and stare. What a lot of shoppers don't know is that many of these models are made specially for warehouse clubs. Manufacturers quietly cut corners to hit that lower price point. Different, cheaper parts, trimmed features, or reduced build quality compared to the exact same model sold at regular stores. From the outside, everything looks great. The TV is bright, and the laptop runs fine for basic stuff. Dig deeper, and you notice dimmer screens, slower performance when you open a bunch of tabs, missing ports, or cheaper panels that don't last as long. The savings are real, but so is the drop in quality and lifespan. On top of that, Costco's return window for electronics is only 90 days now, way shorter than the return anything forever reputation people still remember. Plenty of these items start having issues right after that window closes, turning your deal into a regret. Saving money is great, but accidentally buying a downgraded version you didn't even know existed is a different story. With tech, real value comes from something that keeps working well for years, not just the lowest price tag on the shelf. 5. Huge bottles of shampoo and conditioner. Those monster-sized shampoo and conditioner bottles at Costco feel like pure victory. One purchase, hair care sorted for months. The problem is that bigger isn't always better. Once opened, the cleansing ingredients, moisturizers, and fragrance all start breaking down from air exposure. Throw in the heat and humidity of a bathroom, and they degrade even faster. By the time you're halfway through the bottle, it's often not performing like it did when it was fresh. Big bottles also trick you into using way more than you need. Studies show people pump out 25 to 30% extra product from jumbo sizes just because the pump is right there and it feels like there's plenty. That savings you got at checkout can disappear fast when you're literally washing it down the drain every shower. Plus, hair and scalp needs change with seasons, age, and styling habits. Sticking with the same giant bottle for 6 months makes it harder to switch when your hair suddenly decides it hates the formula. In the end, those huge bottles can lose effectiveness and keep you stuck with something that's no longer right for you. Smaller sizes actually keep things fresher, save product, and let you adapt when your hair says it's time for a change. 4. Giant cases of soda. Buying soda by the huge case at Costco feels like the ultimate win. The per-can price is ridiculously low, so the more you grab, the more you save. The problem is that deal quietly opens the door to drinking way more sugar than you ever planned. One regular can has about 9 teaspoons of sugar, enough to blow past the daily recommended limit for an adult in just a few gulps. When your fridge is always stocked with dozens of ice-cold cans, reaching for just one more becomes way too easy. It's not only the sugar load, your brain gets hooked fast. Liquid sugar hits your bloodstream instantly, giving you that quick rush and training your brain to crave the next can. Before you know it, you've built a daily habit without even noticing. A little upfront savings is hard to weigh against the long-term downsides. Belly fat, blood sugar roller coasters, energy crashes, and higher risk for things like type 2 diabetes. An occasional soda isn't the end of the world. Keeping an entire case in the house, though, is like putting temptation on speed dial every single day. Buying less, or skipping the case altogether, is honestly the cheapest and healthiest move you can make. 3. Giant boxes of cereal. Those massive double-bag cereal boxes look like smart shopping. Tons of breakfast for the whole family at a great price. The truth? Cereal starts sucking in moisture the second you tear open the first bag. Kitchen air, steam from cooking, and even just opening and closing the pantry a few times are enough to kill the crispiness that makes cereal worth eating. 2 or 3 weeks in, those perfectly crunchy flakes or puffs turn soft, chewy, or straight up soggy, even if you close the bags carefully. On top of that, when you've got that much cereal around, people tend to pour bigger bowls. You feel full fast, but it doesn't last, and suddenly you're snacking again sooner than expected and taking in extra calories you didn't plan on. Smaller households almost never finish both giant bags before the second one starts going downhill. Cereal is supposed to be a quick, fun breakfast. When it loses its crunch day by day, it just turns into a disappointment you're forcing yourself to eat because we have so much. Buying normal-sized boxes keeps every bowl as crispy and enjoyable as the first one. 2. Clothing at Costco. Walking through the clothing area at Costco is dangerous. Stacks of soft tees, cozy hoodies, and jeans at prices that feel too good to be true. No dressing rooms, no fuss. Just grab your usual size and go. Except that's where the trouble starts. Costco clothing sizes are wildly inconsistent. One medium shirt fits perfectly. The exact same M right next to it feels 2 sizes too big or too small. That's because they source from tons of different manufacturers, and every brand uses its own sizing chart. There are no fitting rooms, so buying clothes turns into a gamble, especially with stretchy fabrics or unusual cuts. A lot of items look great folded on the table, but after a couple of washes, they stretch out, pill up, or lose shape way faster than you expect. That's why the return rate for clothing at Costco is much higher than at regular stores. Fashion isn't just about being cheap, it's about feeling good and confident when you put it on. An item is only a real bargain if it actually fits and holds up. Otherwise, you just wasted money on something you'll never wear. 1. giant bottles of vitamins and supplements. Vitamins aren't like pasta or laundry detergent. The moment you twist off the cap, many active ingredients, vitamin C, omega-3s, probiotics, etc., start breaking down from air, light, and moisture. The longer that bottle sits open, the less powerful each pill becomes, even if the expiration date is still months away. Some supplements, like fish oil, can actually go rancid and form compounds that aren't great for your body. For a single person or small household, taking 1 or 2 capsules a day, a 300 or 500 count bottle almost guarantees you'll be swallowing weak or questionable pills by the time you reach the bottom. Big bottles also make it easy to lose track of time. People forget how long it's been open and keep taking them anyway, thinking they're doing something good for their health when they're really getting little to no benefit. With supplements, freshness and real potency matter way more than quantity. Smaller bottles you actually finish while the ingredients are still strong are almost always the smarter, healthier choice. Costco is full of tempting bigger is better deals. But bigger and cheaper doesn't always mean you're coming out ahead. Understanding the hidden downsides helps you shop smarter, waste less, and actually protect your wallet and your health. In the end, the best savings isn't the lowest price at checkout. It's the peace of mind that everything you bring home is truly worth it. Did this video help you? Subscribe and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Costco always feels like a shopper's paradise. Everything is bigger, cheaper, and seems like it's always a win for the customer. But behind those huge aisles is a super smart system that only insiders really understand. Secret price codes, cleverly placed traps, and hidden perks that most members have never heard of. Once you know these secrets, you stop being just a regular shopper and start walking into Costco like someone who's completely in control from the very first step. Subscribe to the channel to get notified of the latest videos.
Wow! Wow!
1. Price drop refund policy. Money on the floor that nobody picks up. Costco's price adjustment refund is one of those quiet benefits that most people miss, and it's literally free money left on the table. A lot of shoppers think the deal is over once they pay, but at Costco, your purchase stays alive for another 30 days. If the price drops during that time, you can ask for the difference back. It's fast, easy, and doesn't require a ton of paperwork. Just bring your receipt or pull up the transaction, a couple of quick steps, and the money goes straight back to your card. Most customers either forget or never knew this exists, especially on big-ticket items like TVs, sofas, or electronics. Even a small price change can save you tens or even hundreds of dollars. For executive members, the rules are even more flexible. Sometimes they'll help you out even after the 30 days are up. To get the most out of it, jot down the purchase date, set a reminder for 3 weeks later, and check the price again. Or use a price tracking browser extension so you never miss a silent price drop. This isn't just saving money. It's shopping smart and making sure every dollar you spend comes back to where it belongs, your pocket. 2. Executive members get secret VIP treatment. When you walk into Costco, it's easy to think every member is treated the same. In reality, there's a hidden tier of perks reserved for the customers Costco considers its backbone. Executive members. It's not just a fancier black card, it's a ticket to quiet advantages most people never notice. The most obvious one is the extra flexibility on price adjustments. Regular members usually get 30 days, but executive members often get extra leeway, especially on expensive items like furniture, electronics, or jewelry. There are plenty of stories of refunds approved a month or even 2 months later, simply because these are the big spenders Costco wants to keep happy. On top of that, every purchase earns 2% cash back every year. It sounds small, but for people who buy groceries, gas, and household stuff regularly, that reward can completely cover the membership fee, or even go beyond it. Costco knows how powerful this reward is, and they keep it as a way to lock in loyalty. In a subtle way, Being an executive member is like having invisible protection, easier returns, better price flexibility, and more money back. It's never flashy or heavily advertised, but once you see the value, you realize it's a special level of treatment reserved for people who know how to get the absolute most out of every Costco trip. 3. Costco Travel, the secret travel portal almost nobody knows about. Costco Travel is a hidden treasure that flies completely under the radar, even though millions of members pass right by it every week. There are no big signs or loud ads, but behind that quiet presence is a door to huge savings on trips. What makes it special is that Costco Travel doesn't work like the usual booking sites. Instead of flashy discounts followed by hidden fees, Costco negotiates directly with big hotels, cruise lines, and companies like Disney, Royal Caribbean, or Hyatt to create exclusive packages you won't find on Expedia or Booking. Free room upgrades, complimentary breakfast, resort credits, even flight bundles. Everything is wrapped up cleanly, no deal hunting required. Many packages let you cancel for free and don't require payment upfront, which is rare these days, with travel being so unpredictable. And if you're an executive member, that extra 2% cash back shaves even more off the total cost. Maybe because the deals are already so good, Costco doesn't feel the need to shout about it. The people who know about it quietly save a fortune. Everyone else still thinks Costco is just the place for nuts and toilet paper. Try it once, and you'll instantly understand why Costco Travel is considered a secret gateway for smart shoppers. 4. Flash sales on Costco Travel. They appear quietly and vanish fast. One of the coolest things about Costco Travel isn't the big vacation packages. It's the lightning-fast flash sales that pop up without warning and disappear just as quickly. You won't see them advertised in the warehouse. There's no banner in the app, and they definitely don't send you an email. These deals just quietly show up on the travel website, a page most members never visit unless they're already planning a trip. That low-key approach is exactly why they're such a goldmine for anyone who checks regularly. The offers can be insane. An extra free night at a hotel, huge resort credits, deep discounts on rental cars, or even a cruise plus airfare combo. Most of them last only a few hours, so the people who swing by the site every week or two are the ones who score big. These aren't clickbait tricks. Costco throws these flash sales when a hotel or cruise line needs to fill rooms or seats fast. That means the discounts are usually deeper and come with fewer strings than what you'd find on regular booking sites. If you want to save the most on travel, just get in the habit of visiting Costco Travel a couple of times a month. Sometimes the biggest bargain isn't hanging on a sign in the warehouse. It's hiding in a quiet flash sale, waiting for the few smart shoppers who realize Costco isn't just for groceries. It's also the place that can get you an amazing vacation for a price that makes everyone else jealous. 5. The $4.99 rotisserie chicken is a brilliant trap. Costco's famous $4.99 rotisserie chicken isn't just America's favorite cheap dinner. It's one of the smartest business moves the company has ever made. For almost 20 years, the price of meat, labor, and everything else has gone up. Yet, that chicken has stayed exactly $4.99. It feels like Costco is doing us a huge favor. But in reality, it's a perfectly calculated lure that guides your feet and your wallet through the whole store. They place the chickens at the very back of the warehouse, right next to the freezers. To get there, you have to walk past bakery items, wine, snacks, electronics, and a dozen other things that make you want to spend more. Plenty of people go in saying, "I'm just grabbing a chicken," but almost nobody walks out with only the chicken. That incredible smell puts you in a great mood, and happy shoppers spend more money. Costco actually loses $1 to $2 on every single bird they sell, and they're totally fine with it. Because the average person who stops for a chicken ends up buying a bunch of unplanned extras. When you multiply those impulse buys by millions of members, the profit from everything else easily covers the loss on the chickens, and then some. Bottom line, $4.99 makes you feel like you're winning, but Costco is the one winning big. Once you understand the game, The next time you head to the chicken counter, you'll be ready and a lot less likely to get pulled into their cleverly designed spending maze. 6. Costco chickens are legitimately better than the competition. What makes the $4.99 chicken even more dangerous than the price tag is the fact that the quality is ridiculously good. While a lot of grocery stores sell smaller, drier birds pumped with additives to look pretty, Costco's chickens are noticeably bigger, usually half a pound to a full pound heavier than the ones at other stores. That's not an accident. Costco controls the entire supply chain from farm to oven. No hormones, no questionable preservatives, just juicy, flavorful, tender chicken every time. That quality turns it into the ultimate too-good-to-pass-up meal, especially for busy families. One chicken can stretch into 4 or 5 meals. Dinner tonight, chicken salad, sandwiches, soup, you name it. When you break it down, it's cheaper per meal than buying raw ingredients and cooking yourself. But here's the catch. Because it's so good, it becomes the perfect excuse to run to Costco. We're real quick. And every quick trip is another chance to wander past all the high-margin sections. The amazing quality isn't just a bonus. It's the perfect psychological hook. The more you trust that you're getting something delicious, cheap, and safe, the easier it is to overlook the extra stuff that ends up in your cart. Once you see it for what it is, you can still enjoy that incredible chicken. You'll just do it on your terms instead of falling for the trap every time. Comment number 1 and like this video, and I'll reveal something even more shocking. 7. Costco's secret restocking schedule decides when the best deals appear. One of the biggest money savers most people completely overlook is Costco's internal restocking calendar. Those shelves never look empty by accident. Everything runs on a predictable rhythm. Once you know the pattern, your chances of scoring the lowest prices and freshest items go way up. Fresh stuff like produce, meat, and bakery items usually arrives in the morning. That's why 9:30 to 11 a.m. is the sweet spot for the newest batches with the longest shelf life and best quality. Show up later, and you're mostly picking through whatever's left from earlier waves. Seasonal items and electronics follow a different schedule. Things like jackets, holiday decorations, TVs, and blenders get the biggest restocks on Tuesdays and Thursdays to prep for midweek traffic. The real pro move? The first Tuesday of every month. That's when warehouses nationwide get huge shipments, including a lot of limited quantity items. When new inventory comes in, the older stuff quietly gets marked down to clear space. These price cuts almost never have big signs, but if you shop on the right days and keep your eyes open, you can easily find items slashed 30 to 50%. Knowing the restock schedule turns random shopping trips into a real strategy. Costco stops being the place that accidentally empties your wallet and starts being the place that actually helps you save big. 8. Kirkland is premium quality wearing a budget disguise. For years, people have labeled Kirkland cheap store brand stuff. But the truth is, it's one of the sneakiest premium lines in all of retail. Costco knows most of us believe you get what you pay for. So they use that assumption against the big brands and win every time. A ton of Kirkland products are actually made by the exact same companies you already know and trust. The coffee is roasted in Starbucks facilities, the batteries are widely believed to come from Duracell, and the vodka is produced in the same distillery as Grey Goose. Costco just cuts out the massive advertising budgets, fancy packaging, and brand markup, keeps the same or better quality, and passes the savings straight to you. Kirkland items also come with return and warranty policies that many name brands won't even touch. Think 2 full years on electronics or a 90-day free exchange. For a cheap brand, that's almost unbelievable. But it's exactly how Costco builds rock-solid trust. Kirkland never brags about being luxury. It just lets the quality speak for itself. Once you're smart enough to ignore the plain packaging, you realize the best stuff in the store is often hiding behind the simplest label on the shelf. 9. Kirkland's warranty is more generous than most big-name brands. Another huge reason Kirkland has such a loyal following is the warranty policy. It's so customer-friendly that most famous brands are scared to compete with it. Costco knows a low price gets you in the door once. Feeling totally taken care of is what keeps you coming back for life. Kirkland is where they prove it. A lot of Kirkland electronics and appliances come with a full 2-year warranty, double the industry standard. On top of that, you get 90 days to return or exchange for any reason, basically zero risk if you're trying something new. To Costco, customer happiness isn't an expense. It's the smartest investment they make. They rarely advertise any of this. Costco just lets members discover it themselves and spread the word. When someone buys a Kirkland TV, has a tiny issue, and gets a brand new replacement with no hassle, the value hits home instantly. Kirkland doesn't just sell products, it sells total peace of mind. While other companies turn warranties into a battle, Costco and Kirkland stand firmly on the customer's side. That's why the more you use Kirkland stuff, the more you feel like you made the absolute smartest choice. 10. The secret price tag codes that tell you exactly what's a real deal. If you think Costco's price tags are just numbers, think again. They're actually a hidden language that employees know by heart, and smart shoppers can learn to read like pros. Once you understand the 97, 88, and .00 endings and that tiny little asterisk in the corner, you'll never shop the same way again. Ends in .97, manager's special markdown. This is a local clearance price, not system-wide, usually 20–40% off, and there's almost never a big sale sign. They just want it gone fast. Ends in 88 or .00, heavy clearance. Could be display models, customer returns in perfect shape, or stuff the warehouse needed out yesterday. A $100 item can drop to $30 or $40, but there are only a few left. First come, first served. Tiny asterisk. In the upper right corner, the Death Star. This item is gone forever. No more reorders, no more restocks. If you love it, grab it now, because next week that spot will be empty. These little symbols look innocent, but they're the key to knowing when to buy, when to walk away, and when you're standing in front of a silent killer deal. Master the price tag code, and you officially level up from regular shopper to Costco ninja. 11. You can buy glasses at Costco without a membership. One of the most surprising loopholes at Costco is the optical department. You can walk in, get an eye exam, and buy prescription glasses, sunglasses, or progressives without ever showing a membership card. It's been this way for years, and it's a massive money saver most people have no idea exists. Prices are usually about 40% lower than regular eyewear stores, even on big designer brands like Ray-Ban, Oakley, or Prada. Frames that normally cost a fortune suddenly feel totally reasonable. Best times to shop? February and September, when they clear out old inventory and run deeper discounts to make room for new collections. They also accept most vision insurance plans, offer free adjustments, and will swap lenses or remake glasses if you're not happy within 90 days. Basically, the optical department is an open-to-the-public goldmine where you get member pricing without the membership. If you wear glasses and love smart spending, this is one Costco corner you can't ignore. 12. Costco gas has golden hours when it's the absolute cheapest. Everyone knows Costco gas is cheap, but not everyone knows it gets even cheaper if you fill up at the right time. Nail these windows, and the savings add up so fast, you'll kick yourself for not doing it sooner. Best times? 6 and 8 a.m., especially Tuesday and Wednesday mornings right after the price is updated and the pumps are quiet. 9 to 9:30 p.m., right before closing. The price hasn't rolled over yet and the lines are short. What makes Costco gas worth the trip even more is the quality. Almost every station sells top-tier gasoline with extra detergents that keep your engine cleaner and running better. Some locations even have ethanol-free gas, perfect for older cars, boats, or small engines. Use the Costco Anywhere Visa, and you get 4% cash back, turning every gallon into double savings. Knowing the golden hours doesn't just help you skip the long lines. It shaves real money off one of your biggest regular expenses. Everyone has to buy gas. Smart people buy it for less. 13. Free samples aren't gifts. They're one of Costco's smartest psychological tools. Those little paper trays and friendly smiles handing out bites of pizza or sips of juice feel like a nice bonus, but they're actually a brilliantly designed sales tactic. The moment you accept something for free, your brain kicks in with the reciprocity instinct. You feel a tiny urge to give something back. At Costco, the easiest way to do that is to toss the full-size product into your cart, even if you only kind of like the sample. Insiders say most of the items being sampled are either overstocked or about to go on clearance. That's why the areas around the sample stations often hide the best unmarked deals in the store. Sharp-eyed shoppers who pay attention can spot discounts nobody else notices. Monday is usually the heaviest clearance day because they're clearing out whatever was left from weekend samples. The peak sampling hours, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., are also when you'll see the next round of soon-to-be discounted items being pushed. Bottom line, the samples aren't truly free. They're cleverly disguised purchase invitations. Once you see how they work, you can still enjoy the bites. You'll just do it with your eyes wide open and your cart under control instead of sleepwalking into Costco's plan. Costco isn't just a warehouse. It's a giant strategic chessboard. Every product placement, every price tag, every sample station is put there on purpose. When you finally learn the hidden rules, the price codes, the restock days, the sample tricks, you stop getting played and start playing the game yourself. That's the moment Costco flips from quietly draining your wallet to actually helping you save serious money. Did this video help you? Subscribe and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Walking into Costco looking for your familiar favorite, only to freeze because it's completely gone? No announcement, no explanation, just a tiny asterisk on the price tag, and poof, the product vanishes into memory. In 2025, this is no longer an isolated incident. A host of items once considered staples in American shopping carts are quietly disappearing from Costco. From classic foods, premium spices, and plant-based milk, to childhood favorite pastries. Here are 12 products you'll never see again in 2025, and the reasons behind it might surprise you. Subscribe to the channel to get notified of the latest videos.
Wow! Wow!
12 food court items. Costco's food court is seen as an iconic stop. It's a place every member instinctively visits before leaving the store. The smell of hot pizza, a large, inexpensive soda, and the familiar hot dog all create a sense of familiarity that many consider a part of the Costco experience. But this seemingly unchangeable area is now shifting in a way that is eroding customer trust. Some items once considered essential have been quietly removed. Pepsi's disappearance from the soda fountain is just the tip of the iceberg. Healthier options like the rotisserie chicken salad have also left the menu, forcing those who relied on a quick yet light meal to rethink their habits. What frustrates customers isn't just the vanishing food items. It's the feeling that values maintained for many years are gradually being replaced. The food court once represented stability and enduring value. Now, it clearly reflects Costco's changes, almost without warning. Customers are starting to realize that even the things they thought were most certain can be left behind overnight. 11. The book section. Costco's book section used to feel like a peaceful pause amidst a vast shopping trip. It wasn't noisy or chaotic. It was just a humble corner where someone could stop, flip through a few pages, admire a beautifully presented cookbook, or pick out a small gift for a child. It was never a major revenue driver. However, it helped maintain a rhythm, making the shopping experience more harmonious and pleasant. The removal of the book section from regular inventory has left many customers feeling disappointed. For many, it was a rare moment to touch fresh, ink-scented pages, to unexpectedly discover a new title, or simply to be reminded of a reading habit they had neglected. Losing this section isn't just losing a product, it's losing a feeling. The shelves that once held a bit of tranquility are now replaced with clothing or home goods. This change makes many realize that what they value about Costco isn't just the prices. It's also the small experiences that create a connection. When the book section disappeared, that warm feeling also left. What remains is a hard-to-fill void during each visit. 10. Pepsi and related sodas. Among the most debated changes, the quiet departure of Pepsi and its related sodas from the food court is perhaps the detail that has left many most bewildered. Not because a glass of soda holds special value, but because for many years, the image of a Pepsi can next to a hot dog or a slice of pizza had become a strange but deeply familiar habit for millions of members. This change isn't simply a switch from one beverage brand to another. It touches on the sense of stability that shoppers always expect from Costco. When customers return and realize their familiar taste is gone, what they regret isn't necessarily the flavor. It's the feeling that a part of their shopping memory has been cut out without any prior notice. From a business perspective, a new contract might be logical. But from a customer's viewpoint, this is an inexplicable void. These seemingly minor choices raise a larger question. What else they are familiar with is about to disappear? Pepsi left, but its lingering effect is that shoppers realize even the things they believed would remain constant can change with a silent decision. 9. Mix and match muffins. Among the seemingly small but most annoying changes, Costco's discontinuation of the mix and match muffin option is a prime example. For many families, 2 trays of muffins with 2 different flavors wasn't just a convenient choice. It was a way to keep the peace at breakfast. A chocolate tray for those who preferred a rich taste, a blueberry tray for those who favored a lighter one. No one had to compromise. No one had to accept something they didn't like. When Costco forced customers to buy a full tray of a single flavor, that sense of flexibility vanished. Suddenly, a product that once brought joy became a calculated decision. To please everyone at home, shoppers had to buy 2 identical trays, which was more expensive, resulted in more leftovers, and sometimes resulted in more waste. The point isn't that people are angry because the muffins changed flavor. They regret that their right to choose has been narrowed without a clear reason. Muffins used to be a delightful item on every Costco visit. Picking up a tray brought a little bit of joy. Now, that act has lost its inherent excitement, not because the muffins are bad, but because the experience surrounding them is no longer the same. Small changes like these, when accumulated over time, make customers realize that what they value isn't just the product. It's the feeling of being free to choose what suits them without much thought. 8. Kirkland Ultra Clean Laundry Detergent. Kirkland Ultra Clean Laundry Detergent was considered one of Costco's most reliable products. It wasn't flashy or heavily advertised. It was simply a laundry detergent that offered a reasonable price, large volume, mild scent, and, notably, consistent cleaning power to the extent that many families considered it their default choice for years. Its disappearance, therefore, creates a much larger void than a typical household product. Shoppers were surprised not only by the product's discontinuation, but also by how it left. No announcement, no explanation. The shelves that were always fully stocked suddenly became empty. This left customers both confused and regretful, because once a familiar item at Costco disappears, the likelihood of its return is almost zero. The absence of Kirkland Ultra Clean forces many families to switch to more expensive brands that may not be as suitable. And that's what makes people uncomfortable. A product associated with stability in daily life suddenly disappears, leaving the feeling that one's routine can be disrupted at any moment. For many, Ultra Clean wasn't just a laundry detergent. It represented the core value they believed Costco provided: reliability, durability, and when such a product disappears, a sense of absence almost immediately appears in their familiar daily routines. 7. Maldon Sea Salt. Maldon sea salt is one of those small secrets that many home cooks quietly cherish. It's not an expensive spice, nor is it heavily advertised, but just a pinch of its thin, crispy, slow-dissolving crystals on the tongue is enough to elevate an ordinary dish into a more complete experience. For those who love to cook, Maldon isn't just salt. It's the feeling of meticulously caring for their meal in the most refined way. Costco's discontinuation of this product is therefore not just a change in merchandise. It touches the emotions of those who were accustomed to finding Malden at a much more affordable price than in specialty stores. When the salt shelves were empty, many customers only then realized they had taken Malden's presence at Costco for granted, and that moment disappeared so quickly that many weren't prepared. Market prices immediately surged. Home cooks who had grown used to its easy accessibility now have to consider more carefully each time they want to repurchase. Not because they don't want to spend more, but because they miss the convenience and value that Costco once provided. Malden left Costco, but what remains in customers' minds is the realization that even small but meaningful items in the kitchen can disappear unexpectedly. And sometimes, that absence reveals a level of attachment that they themselves didn't realize they had. Comment number 1 and like this video, and I'll reveal something even more shocking. 6. Kirkland Signature Soy Milk. Kirkland Signature soy milk was a familiar choice on many families' shopping lists. It wasn't a prominent item, or one that made a strong impression on the shelves, but it was consistently reliable, easy to drink, moderately priced, and always available when needed. For those who wanted to avoid cow's milk or sought a light drink for breakfast, tossing a few cartons of soy milk into their cart had become almost a natural reflex. The sudden disappearance of this product creates an indescribable sense of emptiness. Costco stated that demand decreased, but reality showed the opposite. Many customers went through 3 or 4 warehouses just to find a few remaining cartons. When a product is truly loved, that reaction speaks volumes more than any data sheet. Those who use this product due to nutritional needs, habit, or allergies suddenly have to cope with more expensive or less suitable options. And that's when they realized that the stability Kirkland soy milk previously provided was more important than they thought. This product left Costco shelves quietly, but the void it left behind is very clear. Not because this was a special carton of milk, but because in a busy life, familiar and reliable things like this are what help everything run more smoothly every day. 5. Mini Cinnamon Rolls. Costco's mini cinnamon rolls were a small pastry that many considered a gentle treat for themselves. Not overly prominent on the shelf, not a product that created a buzz, but for those who ever brought home a tray still warm with the scent of cinnamon, it was a simple joy they always looked forward to on every visit to the store. The disappearance of this pastry not only makes customers miss the familiar sweet and soft taste, it makes them realize that what makes Costco special are sometimes the least noticed products. Mini cinnamon rolls weren't essential, but they were items that made a long day more pleasant. It was the feeling of opening the pastry tray, enjoying a small roll, and smiling because everything seemed a little lighter. When the asterisk appeared on the price tag, many rushed to buy a few trays to stock their freezers, as if wanting to preserve a part of their memory before it completely vanished. What they cherished wasn't just the pastry, it was the feeling of indulging themselves with something small, without needing a reason. Mini cinnamon rolls left Costco, leaving a void that isn't large but is very clear. A reminder that sometimes it's the small details that create a customer's loyalty to a place they trust. And when those things are gone, the familiar experience also changes. 4. Kirkland Signature Chocolate Chips. Kirkland Signature chocolate chips weren't just a baking ingredient. For many families, they were present in countless afternoon cookie baking sessions, in batches of brownies sent with kids to school, or in homemade cakes for loved ones' birthdays. Their disappearance, therefore, doesn't just impact cooking habits, but also the very ordinary moments that this product helped create. What surprised customers most wasn't a change in quality or recipe. It was its quiet departure from the shelves. Just a small asterisk was enough to indicate that the product wouldn't return. And when that news spread, many rushed to gather the last few bags as if to hold on to something familiar before it was too late. For them, Kirkland's chocolate chips weren't a random choice. They were a reliability built over years of baking. The absence of this product forces home bakers to switch to other brands that are more expensive and sometimes less consistent. This not only increases costs for families who bake frequently, it also takes away the peace of mind they had, knowing they could always rely on a familiar ingredient. When a humble product like chocolate chips disappears, what remains isn't just the disappointment of the cook. It's the feeling that things connected to daily life and family memories can also be changed by a very small decision. And that feeling is what's hardest to replace. 3. Biscoff cookies. Biscoff cookies are a treat that makes many people smile right in the aisles of Costco. Not a luxury cookie, but one that evokes a strangely familiar feeling. Their light caramel flavor, perfect crispness, and distinctive aroma once found on flights were now sold in large boxes at an affordable price. For many families, they were cookies for tea time, for a lazy afternoon, or simply to carry in a bag when a little sweetness was needed throughout a long day. As Biscoff boxes gradually disappeared from the shelves, the sense of disappointment came much faster than expected. This wasn't a product people bought every week, but it was a product they always trusted Costco to have when they needed it. Its absence made customers realize that things they assumed were always available are sometimes more fragile than they thought. There was no announcement, no explanation, just empty shelves and the bewildered looks of those who came back looking for them. The disappearance of a familiar cookie doesn't change anyone's life, but it changes the feeling customers have toward a place they trust. And this feeling is what's hardest to deal with, because with simple cookies like Biscoff, the true value isn't in the large packaging or the savings. It lies in the peace of mind that when you need a little warmth for the afternoon, Costco still has that option for you. Now, with those cookie boxes gone, the sense of absence is very small, but very real. A familiar corner on the shelf disappeared, taking with it a small habit that many didn't realize they were so attached to. 2. Crown maple syrup. Crown maple syrup is one of those products that made many people feel Costco understood them better than they thought. Among countless maple syrup options on the market, this brand stood out for its clean, clear, subtle flavor and consistent quality. These amber-colored syrup bottles weren't just for breakfast. They were present at weekend brunches, in pancakes Dad made for the kids, or in iced coffees sweetened just right. When Crown maple syrup began to disappear from the shelves, many only then realized they had grown accustomed to finding it on every visit. Not because it was a cheap product, but because Costco had made it accessible, allowing many families to use a premium syrup at a more reasonable price than anywhere else. It was the feeling of elevating meal quality without hesitation. It's not just that the prices of alternative brands are higher, but also that Crown Maple's consistency is hard to find an equivalent for. When a familiar item disappears without warning, customers don't just lose an option. They lose the peace of mind of knowing they had found the right product and didn't need to experiment further. Many regret not having the luxury of maple syrup, but how it had woven itself into the simple moments of life. And when such a product leaves Costco, people feel as though something small but precious in their routine has been taken away, gently but with a profound emptiness. 1. Household and personal care product lines. Among the quiet shifts happening at Costco, the household and personal care product categories are perhaps the least noticed by shoppers, yet they impact daily life the most. Large bottles of Pantene shampoo, cases of lightly flavored Bywater, or hygiene and body care items that were once familiar in shopping carts are no longer consistently appearing. Some bear an asterisk, some vanish after a single price change. When a shampoo bought for years is no longer in its usual spot, customers don't just spend time finding new options. They feel as if the stability in their home is disrupted. Because these products aren't items shoppers constantly try. They are items that have passed the selection stage, and because they are suitable, they are committed to long-term. Replacements are often inadequate. Some similar items are significantly more expensive, while others don't meet equivalent quality. As a result, customers have to experiment again from scratch and sometimes pay more to receive less. And it's that feeling that makes them regret the time when buying basic products didn't require so much thought. The feeling that the place they trusted could meet even the smallest needs of life. This change, though subtle, affects every moment of daily life that users had taken for granted for years. The disappearance of seemingly familiar products reminds us that Costco is not a place of constants. Every small asterisk can be a farewell to a habit, a convenience, or a very ordinary joy. And it is these quiet changes that make customers realize that what they value most is not just good prices, but the peace of mind they feel every time they step into the warehouse they trust. Did this video help you? Subscribe and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Costco is a shopping paradise for millions of people, where everything is bigger, more abundant, and seems cheaper. But that's exactly what tricks many into unintentionally spending double without realizing it. Not everything at Costco is worth buying. Some items look like bargains, but quietly drain your wallet. This video reveals 8 foods to avoid at Costco, along with replacement tips that truly save money. Pause for 3 seconds and hit the subscribe button to catch the latest videos.
Wow!
8. Prepackaged salad. Prepackaged salads at Costco look incredibly appealing at first glance. Huge boxes, vibrant green lettuce, evenly sliced chicken, and dressing already drizzled on, screaming healthy. Many believe this is a smart choice for health and time saving. But when you break it down, prepackaged salad is one of the most expensive items per ounce in the entire store, and the easiest to waste. A large Caesar salad box costs about $8 to $9, which seems cheap if split among a few people. But dig deeper, nearly half the weight is iceberg lettuce, the cheapest ingredient in the mix. The chicken is only about 5 to 6 ounces, equivalent to $2 if you buy fresh chicken breast from the meat counter and prep it yourself. The dressing and cheese add weight, but zero nutritional value. In reality, you're paying extra for the plastic container, the pre-mixing labor, and the illusion of convenience. What makes this the least frugal option is its short shelf life. Costco salads typically last just 2 to 3 days, yet the portions are massive. Many buy one, eat a single meal, then watch the rest wilt, turn slightly sour, or get oily from the dressing, and half the box ends up in the trash. A time saver becomes the biggest money in food waster. Toss 2 spoiled boxes a month, and that's over $200 a year gone just because you couldn't finish in time. On top of that, most prepackaged salads are loaded with sodium and preservatives to keep the greens colorful and the dressing fresh longer. Eating them regularly isn't nearly as healthy as it seems. That's why, after a few tries, many revert to the old way, mixing salad at home. Fresher, cleaner, and way cheaper. The fix is dead simple. Buy romaine lettuce or spring mix in bulk bags and store in airtight containers to stay fresh 5, 10, 6 days. Grab pre-cooked rotisserie chicken breast from the deli, slice it, and refrigerate for gradual use. A few minutes each morning yields a custom salad. Want bold flavor? Add a sprinkle of Parmesan. Prefer light? Just lemon and olive oil. A large bottle of dressing costing $4 or $5 lasts a month, versus one prepackaged box good for a single meal. Fun fact, even Costco employees admit prepackaged salads top the list for product write-offs because shoppers rarely finish before spoilage. They say, thought eating healthy would save money. Who knew it wastes more than fried food? A line that's both funny and true. 7. Bakery items and desserts. Costco's bakery section is where countless shoppers fall. The scent of butter and vanilla fills the air. Trays of fist-sized muffins or golden cheesecakes line the aisles, tempting everyone to stop and stare. But behind that seductive aroma lies a sweet trap where wallets empty faster than during a TV sale. At first glance, everything seems like a steal. A 6-pack of muffins for $8 or $9 feels negligible, and way more than outside bakeries. Yet each muffin packs 600 to 700 calories, equivalent to a full meal. One might be fine, but with the whole box sitting on the kitchen counter, no one stops at one. A light morning bite turns into the box vanishing in days, along with any weight loss plans. Here's the kicker. Costco baked goods aren't truly cheap when you factor in what you actually consume. A platter-sized cheesecake for $18 to $20 looks like a deal. Slice it up, though, and each piece costs nearly $2, the same as a bakery slice, while peak flavor lasts only the first 2 days. Leave it longer and it dries out, hardens and loses aroma. Refrigerate it and the taste fades. Leave it out and it spoils fast. Countless people sigh as half the tray gets tossed because they didn't eat it in time. A great value item becomes the easiest way to waste dozens of dollars monthly. If you still crave Costco's bakery aroma, there's a smarter way. Buy, then split half with friends or neighbors, just enough to enjoy without leftovers. Slice the rest, wrap tightly, and freeze. Thaw one piece whenever the craving hits, and it stays soft and fragrant like fresh baked. For maximum savings, bake at home. A few dollars worth of mix plus butter, eggs, and milk yields a tray of hot muffins, less sweet and far more aromatic. Savings plus that homemade luxury kitchen scent. 6. Salmon. In Costco's seafood section, salmon always takes center stage. The eye-catching pink-orange color and thick, even slices. You glance at it and instantly think health and clean protein. Many believe buying salmon here is a heart-healthy choice that's cheaper than a restaurant. But in reality, it's one of the items that can make you pay more for less quality, especially if you pick the wrong type. Costco usually sells 2 popular salmon varieties, farmed Atlantic salmon and steelhead salmon. To the naked eye, they look almost identical, but the differences lie in flavor, texture, and nutritional value. Atlantic salmon has pale flesh, lower fat content, and is often softer than expected. That's because this fish is raised in industrial environments and fed processed feed, resulting in a bland taste that lacks ocean depth. Its price at Costco is around $11 per pound, which seems reasonable until you cook it. Then you notice the flesh falls apart, lacks oil, and develops a slight fishy smell if not marinated well. In contrast, steelhead salmon, also farmed but closer to wild salmon, has deeper colored flesh that's more aromatic and firmer. It costs just about $9.99 per pound. Put both on the same table, and nearly everyone agrees steelhead tastes noticeably better. Yet strangely, many still choose the pricier one simply because the name sounds more familiar. In truth, seasoned cooks know farmed Atlantic is just a commercial label. Steelhead is the real value. Even more importantly, fresh salmon at Costco isn't always as fresh as you think. It's pre-cut, wrapped in plastic trays, and displayed in the cooler for days. If you don't cook it within 24 hours, freshness drops fast and the surface gets slimy. Meanwhile, Costco's frozen salmon, though less noticed, is often the smarter buy. Flash frozen right after catching or filleting, it retains moisture, sweetness, and even color better than fresh, displayed for days when thawed properly. It's also a few dollars cheaper per pound, and you can stock it in the freezer to use gradually without spoilage. The key is knowing your purpose. For grilling, pan-searing, or pasta, steelhead salmon delivers great flavor and savings. But if you plan to eat it raw as sashimi, choose sushi-grade salmon, deep frozen for safety. Costco rarely labels this clearly. So many buy fresh salmon and make sashimi at home, unaware of lingering parasite risks. A quick tip when shopping: check the fat lines along the edges. Good salmon has bright, evenly distributed fat. If the flesh looks pale orange, has few white streaks, or appears dry, it's been sitting too long or repeatedly thawed. And don't hesitate to pick frozen. Flash frozen can mean fresh longer. Subscribe to the channel for the latest video updates. 5. Deli meat. Deli meat is an item many believe is a deal at Costco. Convenient, tasty, and enough for a week of sandwiches. Seeing neatly stacked trays of turkey, roast beef, or ham in the brightly lit cooler gives the feeling you're buying restaurant quality. But the truth is far different. This is one of the sneakiest money drains most people overlook. Most pre-sliced deli meats at Costco cost $8 to $9 per pound, nearly double the price of the same fresh meat at the nearby counter. What many don't realize is they're paying extra for the slicing, packaging, and short shelf life. A pack of sliced turkey looks convenient, but once opened, it dries out, darkens, and loses flavor in just 2 to 3 days. Plenty of people end up tossing the rest because they didn't finish it in time. So convenience turns into waste. Behind the bright appearance of those deli slices lies a long list of preservatives and artificial flavors. These keep the meat pink and slow spoilage, but they strip away natural taste. When reheated or microwaved, many notice a slight sour smell or cloudy liquid. That's the sign of fillers and sodium nitrates. One serving won't hurt, but eating it daily means paying premium prices for less real meat. Another irony, pre-sliced deli meat often has less protein than a home-cooked whole cut. In 100 grams of deli meat, you might get only 14 to 16 grams of protein, while the same amount of fresh grilled chicken yields 23 grams. The rest is mostly water, salt, and moisture-retaining additives. So for the same money, you get fewer nutrients plus extra sodium and preservatives. If you really love sandwiches or salads with deli meat, there's a much easier way to save and eat better. Buy whole cuts and slice them yourself. Costco sells fresh chicken breast and lean beef for just $4 to $5 per pound. Simply roast or boil lightly, cool, then use a sharp knife or slicer. You'll have fresh, preservative-free slices at half the cost. Plus, the flavor is worlds apart. Aromatic, tender, and naturally sweet, not bland like prepackaged. 4. Pre-sliced pork. Many shoppers passing the pork counter at Costco get instantly drawn to the trays of pre-sliced pork chops. The pink, fresh-looking slices are neatly arranged in plastic trays, convenient and clean, and it seems all you need is a sprinkle of salt and pepper for a great meal. But behind that convenience is one of the sneakiest ways to spend more money without even realizing it. The average price for pre-sliced pork at Costco ranges from $2.99 to $3.49 per pound, which sounds fine. But glance next to it and you'll see a whole pork loin, solid, uncut pork tenderloin, for just $1.99 per pound. That's over $1 more for the same meat, the only difference being who holds the knife. In other words, you're paying nearly 50% extra just for a Costco employee to slice it for you. It's not just pricier. Pre-sliced pork has another big downside: uneven thickness. Some trays have thick cuts, others thin, making cooking time nearly impossible to judge. Thin slices dry out fast, thick ones cook slowly, and the result is never a perfect meal. Plus, these trays are packaged early in the day and sit in the cooler, so the edges often darken, dry out, or leak fluid. By the time you get home, you end up trimming off those edges. More waste. Buying a whole cut, on the other hand, shows clear benefits right away. You can slice it thick or thin as you like, even grind part of it for ground pork or meatballs, or portion it for different dishes. The center for steaks, the ends for braising, and the scraps for dumplings. An 8 to 9 pound whole pork loin costs under $20, but used wisely, it can turn into 4 to 5 different family meals. Many avoid whole cuts thinking, I'll have to slice it at home. Too much work. But in reality, it takes just 10 minutes with a sharp knife. Slice, portion into small bags, freeze, and pull out only what you need each time. It stays fresher, it's more convenient in the long run, and it's way cheaper than pre-sliced trays. The biggest bonus? Whole cuts always taste better. The surface hasn't oxidized or been exposed to air. When cooked, the meat holds moisture better, stays tender, and has a natural sweetness. A quick tip: look for labels that say whole pork loin or boneless center cut. These are easy to slice, low in fat, and work for most dishes. You can even pre-marinate portions with soy sauce, garlic, and black pepper, then freeze. ready to grill or pan-sear with zero prep time and full flavor. 3. Shrimp cocktail. Shrimp cocktail, the fancy chilled shrimp dish that nearly everyone who buys it at Costco falls in love with at first sight. Big shrimp neatly arranged, bright red sauce, a few lemon slices, it looks party ready. People think, grab it and you've got a party, way cheaper than a restaurant. But the truth? This is one of the most overpriced and least efficient items in Costco's entire food section. The trap is in the pricing. By total weight, a large shrimp cocktail tray costs $8.99 per pound, which seems fair. But that tray isn't just shrimp. Out of the 1.5 pounds listed on the label, only about 20 ounces are actual shrimp. The rest is cocktail sauce, lemon, the plastic tray, and the lid. You're paying shrimp prices for sauce. And the irony? You can make that sauce at home for under $1. On top of that, the shrimp in these trays are pre-thawed frozen shrimp. That means you're buying shrimp that's already been processed at least twice, losing sweetness, turning mushy, and spoiling fast. After 1 to 2 days in the fridge, the shrimp lose their fresh scent and turn pale gray. Many people buy a tray, don't serve it in time, and end up throwing out half. When you factor in waste, the real cost per pound of edible shrimp can climb past $12, the same as premium fresh shrimp at the market. If you love shrimp cocktail, the smarter move is to buy frozen peeled shrimp from Costco's seafood counter. It's the exact same shrimp used in those trays, sold separately for just $7.95 per pound. Bring it home, thaw, blanch quickly in boiling water, then shock in ice water for a few minutes to keep the snap. Mix your own sauce to taste, and it's just as good as the ready-made version. Best of all, you control freshness and cleanliness. Here's a fun fact. People who've tried it say that with 1 bag of frozen shrimp, a bottle of sauce, and a few lemon slices, you can make a shrimp cocktail tray identical to Costco's for half the price. The flavor is fresher, the texture firmer, and there's no plastic tray smell or bottled sauce aftertaste. Want it to look fancy? Arrange on a round platter with a little parsley, and it looks straight out of a restaurant. 2. Ready-to-eat prepared foods. Ready-to-eat prepared foods at Costco are the ultimate temptation for busy people. The trays of fully cooked meals sit neatly stacked. Glance at them, and convenience screams out, grab one, pop it in the oven or microwave, and minutes later, you've got a full dinner. Who wouldn't want to save time like that? But look closer. This is where Costco makes the highest margins. You're paying extra for someone else's cooking, packaging, and the feeling of no effort required. Take carnitas, for example. Mexican-style shredded pork, vacuum-sealed in 2 bags, priced at about $16.99 for 2 pounds, or nearly $6.80 per pound. But walk over to the fresh meat counter and you'll find the exact same cut, pork butt, for the just $2.49 per pound. The ingredient list? Pork, salt, garlic powder, and a few preservatives. In short, you're paying more than double just for someone to season it lightly and seal it in a bag. The same story applies to smoked pulled pork, one of the best sellers in the prepared section. It sounds impressive. People think real American BBQ requires a smoker and hours of watching. But in reality, all you need is an oven or a slow cooker. Make it yourself, and it costs under $3 per pound, with richer, deeper flavor. The Costco version, despite being labeled smoked, is mostly sprayed with artificial smoke flavor. The aroma is strong, but the meat tastes flat, and it dries out fast when reheated. Here's the catch. These prepared foods are loaded with hidden salt and fat. To keep color bright and flavor bold, manufacturers add tons of sodium, sugar, and stabilizers. A small serving of pulled pork can pack over 700 milliliters of sodium, half your daily recommended limit. That's why it tastes great the first few times. But eat it regularly, and you quickly feel bloated and tired. 1. Pre-cut beef. Pre-cut beef at Costco feels like a great deal to many. Clean, convenient, and perfectly portioned like in a steakhouse. But for anyone who really understands meat, this is one of the most expensive and wasteful items in the fresh food section. Costco's genius is making you think you're saving time, when in truth, you're paying a premium for what they call convenience, not quality. Most pre-cut steaks at Costco are blade tenderized, run through a machine with hundreds of tiny blades to break down toughness. Sounds good, but this process pushes surface bacteria deep into the meat and causes moisture loss during cooking. Here's the irony. Costco sells whole primal cuts, uncut, high-quality beef, at the same counter for far less. A 10-12-pound whole ribeye costs just $8.99 per pound, while pre-cut ribeye steaks run $12 to $13 per pound. That's $3 or $4 more per pound just for someone else to slice it. And in the process, they trim away the best edge pieces to make each steak look perfect. So you pay more and get less of the good stuff. Buying whole cuts isn't hard. You can ask the butcher to slice it into steaks and wrap them separately, for free, or do it yourself. 10 minutes with a sharp knife gives you a dozen perfect portions to freeze. Pull one out as needed, thaw, and cook, fresh as the day you bought it. You save 20–30% and control thickness, marbling, and cut style exactly how you like. Whole beef also wins on quality and freshness. Uncut, the surface hasn't been exposed to air, oxidized, or dried out. When cooked, the meat stays juicier, sweeter, and more flavorful. Anyone who's tried it agrees. Home-cut steak tastes better, costs less, and feels safer, no extra processing. Real savings at Costco aren't about grabbing the cheapest item. It's about understanding true value. Many things look convenient but make you pay for packaging, labor, or the illusion of speed. When you learn to buy whole, cook smart, and store properly, you eat better and keep your wallet safer. Because at Costco, shopping smart is the real jackpot. Was this video helpful? Subscribe to help us reach 1,000 subscribers.
Have you ever wondered why some people walk into Costco and spend only a few tens of dollars, while you always leave with a bill 3 times that amount? They're not just lucky, they know secrets that Costco never tells. From the subtle chime at the rotisserie chicken counter and strange symbols on price tags to magic keywords that help you buy cheaper meat, every detail hides a real way to save money. In this video, I'll reveal 12 secrets only seasoned Costco shoppers know, so you never pay more than you need to. Subscribe to the channel to get notified of the latest videos.
Wow! Wow!
1. The bell rings. Freshly roasted chicken. If you hear a ding-ding somewhere in the noisy expanse of Costco, don't be confused. Don't think it's an emergency exit alarm or a signal for employees. In fact, it's the golden secret code for savvy shoppers, a sign that a new batch of rotisserie chickens has just come out of the oven. Among thousands of products, Costco has one item that almost everyone agrees is fail-proof: the $4.99 rotisserie chicken. Crispy skin, tender meat, and an aroma strong enough to tempt even those on a diet. But not all chickens are created equal. Those just pulled from the oven are always tastier, hotter, juicier, and often disappear within minutes. So when you hear the bell ring, drop your shopping cart, turn left or right depending on your location, and head straight to the chicken counter. That's the golden hour that true Costco connoisseurs never miss. Newcomers often don't understand what's happening, but insiders know. It's the signal to hunt for the best batch of chicken of the day. Small tip: if you miss a round, don't worry. The bell will ring multiple times throughout the day. Just stay a few more minutes and you can change your whole dinner plans with a simple ding. 2. The Apocalypse Survival Kit is real. It might sound like an online joke, but Costco really does sell Apocalypse Survival Kits, and they're not cheap. While you're browsing for milk or toilet paper, somewhere in the special items section, Costco displays huge, carefully sealed bins filled with enough food to feed a family of 4 for an entire year. The price? From $1,000 to $6,000, depending on the level of apocalypse you want to prepare for. Each kit contains hundreds of cans of food, dehydrated vegetables, beef, chicken, powdered milk, grains, and even mashed potatoes and dried fruit. All are specially processed with a shelf life of up to 30 years, sounding like a promise of survival for generations. For many, this isn't just a survival kit for natural disasters, but also a way to invest safely in a volatile world. Some customers even joke that if zombies really appear, the person with a Costco card will be the longest survivor. But beneath the laughter lies a truth. Costco doesn't just sell products. They sell a sense of absolute security. From a loaf of bread to an apocalypse kit, everything reflects one philosophy. The sooner you prepare, the more at ease you'll be. And that's precisely why those who truly understand Costco, they aren't just shopping. They are quietly preparing for all of life's situations. 3. Hidden price codes tell you everything. If you ever thought Costco price tags were just for seeing the price, you're missing out on a secret language only experts understand. Every number, every small dot in the bottom right corner has its own story. Costco doesn't loudly display sale or clearance signs like other supermarkets. They are more discreet, and only sharp-eyed individuals can read the hidden messages behind those numbers. Look closely. If a price ends in 97, congratulations, you've just found a real markdown. Not a discount for fun, but an item being cleared out. Sometimes it's only a few dollars, but sometimes it's a double-digit percentage off quietly, without fanfare. What about prices ending in 49, 79, or 89? That's when Costco gets a special deal from the manufacturer, and they pass the savings on to you. If you see 0.00 or 88, understand that it's a display item or a final batch, a first-come, first-served situation. But the strongest signal is the small asterisk in the top right corner. Just a simple symbol, but Costco regulars call it the Death Star, the star that signals the item is dying. It means the product you're looking at will never return. When you see that sign, don't hesitate because next time you come back, that shelf will be empty. Costco doesn't need to say much because they know the astute will read between the lines. And if you're hearing this, congratulations. You've just learned the unspoken language of smart shoppers. 4. The keyword chub at the meat counter. It might sound strange, but if you just know how to say one single word, chub, you've moved to the insider level at Costco. No VIP card needed, no special connections. Just knowing this magic keyword can get you better, cheaper, and cleaner ground beef that most customers are completely unaware of. At the meat counter, you often see pre-packaged trays of ground beef, looking appealing and neat. But there's a little noticed truth. That meat is made from trimmings mixed with excess fat from other steak cuts, then ground into a mixture that's typically 12% fat. It costs about $3.49 lb. Seems like a good deal, but not entirely. However, if you tell the meat counter employee, "Hey, do you have the chubs today?" they'll immediately understand you're asking for ground beef chub, which is ground beef in its original sealed 10-pound tube with no added fat, no reprocessing, fresher, and only about $2.99 lb. It sounds simple, but this small difference is why home cooks remain loyal to Costco. Chub meat is leaner, easier to season, doesn't shrink when cooked, and has a richer flavor. It's the kind of secret that isn't on a price tag. No one advertises it. It's only passed by word of mouth among those who truly understand meat. Next time you visit Costco, try asking a small question. Who knows, just uttering the word chub might open the door to one of the best deals Costco has ever offered. 5. The most insane return policy in America. If there's one place in America that makes the concept of buying the wrong thing meaningless, it's Costco. Here, the phrase, "not satisfied, money back," isn't an advertising slogan. It's a real, almost unbelievable commitment. People jokingly say that Costco has the most insane return policy in America, and that's entirely true. You can buy a new jar of jam, taste it, and realize it's not to your liking, return it, and it's accepted. Buy a chair, use it for a few months, change your mind, and return it. It's accepted. There was even a time someone returned a withered Christmas tree after Christmas, and Costco still issued a refund. No receipt needed, no box needed, just your membership card. All your transactions are recorded in their system. Of course, all generosity has its limits. If you're too enthusiastic about returning items too frequently, Costco might quietly flag your account. No penalties, no notifications. But when you get to the counter, the employee will simply say, "Sorry, your return policy has been restricted." A subtle reminder, but enough to make anyone feel guilty. That's why customers love Costco, not just for low prices or good products, but because they feel absolutely trusted. Shopping here, you don't have to worry about being stuck with a wrong decision. And it's that trust, not promotions, that keeps people coming back. 6. Bought it, then it went on sale? You still get a refund. Have you ever bought an item at Costco only to return a few days later and find it $10 cheaper? That feeling, honestly, is both amusing and a little painful. But at Costco, you don't have to regret it, because they have a policy that few people know about. You can get a refund for the price difference if an item goes on sale after you've purchased it. No need to argue or make excuses. Just go to the Costco website, select Price Adjustment, fill in your order information, and a few days later, the price difference will automatically be credited back to your account. Simple, clean, no hassle. And if you bought directly at the store, staff can still process the refund right at the counter. No receipt needed, just your membership card. This is one of the unspoken perks that makes Costco different. They don't just care about selling products, but also want you to feel treated fairly. Not everyone knows this. So many people miss out on hundreds of dollars each year just because they're afraid to ask. And if you're not yet a member, there's still a small trick. Browse the Costco website, print out the price of the item you want, then take it to Target, Best Buy, or Home Depot. Most of these chains have a price match policy, meaning they will lower their product's price to match Costco's just to keep your business. A few minutes of research, a few clicks, and you can save quite a bit without waiting for a sale. In an increasingly smart shopping world, the person who knows how to claim their fair share is truly the one who profits most. Pause for 3 seconds and hit the subscribe button to stay updated with the latest videos. 7. Choose the golden hour for shopping. If you've ever stepped into Costco on a Saturday afternoon, you'll understand the feeling, like you're participating in a marathon amidst giant shopping carts. The wheels squeal, lines stretch long, and the space is so crowded you just want to abandon your cart and flee. But seasoned Costco shoppers never find themselves in that situation because they know the golden hour for shopping. It's not early morning nor late evening. Around 3 to 4 p.m., from Tuesday to Thursday, is the most ideal time. That's when the crowds have dispersed, merchandise has just been restocked, and employees have time to assist you without rushing. New discounts are often updated mid-week, so if you go on the right day, the chance of snagging a good deal is almost guaranteed. Conversely, avoid Costco on weekends during lunchtime and after 5 p.m. That's when office workers flock in, or families drag themselves there for free samples, and within minutes, you'll be stuck in a sea of people. Savvy shoppers even know to pick days after holidays, when leftover inventory is heavily discounted for clearance, but customer traffic is lower. Costco is a game of timing. The same item, the same price, but whoever goes at the right time will shop faster, cheaper, and more peacefully. So if you want to turn every Costco trip into a relaxing experience instead of a battle, remember, it's not always about what you buy, but when you choose to go. 8. Costco has wedding and baby registries. If you thought Costco only sold rotisserie chicken, diapers, and 85-inch TVs, then this secret will truly surprise you. Costco has both wedding and baby registries, gift registry services like any high-end department store. It might sound unfamiliar, but it's one of those hidden perks that few people notice. Imagine this. You're getting married, busy with preparations, and stressed about prices. Instead of browsing dozens of different websites, you just open Costco Registry and add truly needed items to your list, from vacuum cleaners to bed linen sets to sound systems or TVs. All are cheaper than market prices, and the quality is undeniable. Guests just click on the list, choose the gift they want, pay online, and Costco will deliver it to your home. No membership card needed, no complicated accounts. And if you don't need physical items, Costco even allows guests to send cash via PayPal, with flexible amounts from $1 to $1,000, with no transaction limits. What about more sophisticated couples? They take advantage of Costco's wedding package, which includes wedding flowers, catering, invitations, wedding rings, and even honeymoon travel packages exclusively for members. The special thing is that this service isn't heavily advertised. It sits quietly on the website, only appearing to those who bother to search for it. It's like a small reward for those who truly understand what Costco is. Not just a place to shop, but a place where you can start a new chapter in life in the most economical and smart way. 9. Costco is also a life services center. Costco isn't just a place filled with shelves or where you buy a year's supply of coffee. For the savvy, Costco is a miniature life services center where you can handle everything from travel and insurance to healthcare. First, there's Costco Travel, an exclusive travel booking site few people know about. You can book flights, hotels, cruises, and rental cars often at cheaper prices than booking directly. They also have all-inclusive packages to Hawaii, Japan, and Europe, with travel insurance included, everything pre-negotiated at member-exclusive prices, helping you save and avoid unexpected price surges. Next up is home and auto insurance in partnership with Ameriprise, a reputable insurance provider in the U.S. Many people have saved hundreds of dollars annually just by having a Costco card. Even better is the feeling of having everything consolidated in one place without having to search everywhere. What's more, Costco also offers eye exams, hearing tests, and prescriptions, and notably, no membership is required. Anyone can use these services. Costco has moved beyond the limits of a supermarket, becoming an ecosystem where shopping and life care merge, treating customers as partners on the journey to live smarter. 10. Kirkland Signature, a brand disguised as a house brand. There's a truth anyone who's ever shopped at Costco will admit. Ignoring Kirkland Signature means you haven't truly understood Costco. Behind that unassuming name is the ace up their sleeve that helps you buy quality products comparable to top brands at better prices. Many people hear private label and immediately think cheap goods. But Kirkland is actually produced by major brands. Batteries from Duracell, vodka from the same factory as Grey Goose, diapers from Huggies, coffee roasted to Starbucks standards. Meaning you're buying a brand name product. You're just not paying for the logo. That's Costco's strategy. Strip away the brand facade and keep the real value inside. Millions are loyal to Kirkland, not because it's cheap, but because they trust the quality. Many products are even rated as tasting better or being more durable than their original counterparts. Thanks to sales accounting for over 25% of the entire chain, Costco maintains low profit margins, allowing customers to enjoy real prices without intermediaries. So, next time you see Kirkland olive oil or vitamins, don't just scroll past it because it lacks a fancy label. You might be holding a hidden brand name item beneath a simple appearance, for those who look for true value instead of packaging. 11. Costco has apocalypse prep services, and for office workers too. Sounds crazy, but at Costco you really can buy everything, from end-of-the-world survival kits to full office setups for remote workers. One aisle has giant buckets of freeze-dried food that'll feed a family for a year. The next has desks, chairs, coffee, printer paper, and monitors, all bundled into slick office kits that only insiders know to hunt down. Costco doesn't shout about these bundles. They're tucked away in business delivery, built for small businesses or anyone who wants a pro-level home office without the hassle. Each kit runs 20 to 30% cheaper than buying pieces at office supply stores, and the quality holds its own against any premium brand. Remote workers joke, "If the apocalypse hits, I'll still have my standing desk, Kirkland coffee, and rock-solid Wi-Fi." But the real magic is the mindset behind it. Costco gets that being prepared isn't just stockpiling food. It's setting yourself up for modern life. Food for your body on one side, tools for your job on the other. Both aimed at the same goal: live steady, live long, live cheap. That's why Costco feels like the warehouse of the future. Every need, from survival to career, solved in one neat, fair-priced package, with a side of peace of mind. Because whether it's doomsday or a deadline breathing down your neck, Costco makes you feel ready. 12. A model store of the trust the customer philosophy. If one word had to describe the spirit of Costco, it would be trust. While many retail chains try every trick to make customers buy more, Costco does the opposite. They believe that if you are treated fairly, you will naturally return. And the biggest secret that makes Costco a legend is its almost absolute philosophy of trusting the customer. Costco doesn't engage in loud advertising, fake discounts, or psychological tricks to push sales. They maintain genuine prices through low profit margins and are willing to refund after many months and position their brand alongside major players, not as a strategy, but as a belief in fairness. Their trust first, verify later policy makes shopping unusually relaxed. You don't feel like you're being sold to, but rather served. Because of this, people are willing to drive far and wait in long lines to buy something they could get elsewhere. Costco doesn't just sell goods. They build relationships based on trust in an era where everyone is skeptical. There, you are not a consumer customer, but a partner in a journey of honest and smart shopping. And that is the biggest secret. Something not found on the shelves but present in every Costco experience. After all, Costco isn't just a giant supermarket. It's a school of savings for those who know how to observe. Every chime, every asterisk, every seemingly small policy reflects a philosophy: real value, real trust, and real respect. If you understand these secrets, Costco is no longer just a place to spend money, but a place to help you learn how to shop smarter every day. Did this video help you? Subscribe and help